guys, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Lori. Listen, I wanted to wrap up this week because you guys know, if you don't know, I try to post Monday through Friday, just a little nugget of information, nothing crazy, nothing over the top, but I am working on another meditation because you guys like those. I'm going to put that up one day next week. I'm just not sure when, but I also wanted to talk to you guys about something today, and that is, and I did a TikTok on this, but you know, if you're not good with yourself, you're not going to be good in relationships. I mean, that's just, and that's a fact. It's not like things I'm making up. And I'm saying all relationships, not just relationships like love relationships, but friendships, coworkers, things like that. And the reason being is because think about some things that we were told, not so much now if you're younger watching this, but let's say above the age of 30 or 40, okay? Is we heard things like be seen, not heard. Speak only when spoken to. This is grown folks' business. I mean, that's just like three that just jumps in my head, right? But think about what that says. Be seen, not heard. So essentially, hey, I don't care how you feel. Doesn't really matter to me. Like your feelings are irrelevant. They're invalid. Okay. Be seen, not heard. Be spoken. Speak only when spoken to. Those two things go hand in hand. So that means I also can't have an opinion unless you ask me. Now, this is just, listen, people throw these words around like, but that's manners. That's polite. That's not okay. That's not okay. And I've said this before here in the States, for some people, if you burp after a meal, people are like, oh my God, that's so rude. In other countries, if you burp after a meal, it's like, yes, that was some good food. So you have to realize politeness and manners and all of these things there's not a template for it. I mean, yeah, we say things like thank you and, gracias and, you're welcome, de nada, different things like that. So we do say those things out of politeness, holding doors for people. I think that's kind of universal, but there's other areas that are not. And so a lot of the reasons you're struggling with self-love and trying to find it is because you kind of were told not to have it, right? Because suddenly if you have self-love and it's about you, you're stuck on yourself, you're snobby, you're conceited, like all these things that, by the way, it's not really our parents and the people before us fault. I mean, it really isn't, right? Because you're only good with the tools that you've been given, right? Seriously, think about that. Like right now, if I say, hey, go love yourself, and you're like, okay, what the hell's that look like, right? It's because you don't have the tools, which I'm like the self-love tool person, right? Because I want you to know a few things. Number one, it's okay to love yourself. It's okay to see things differently than somebody else. It's okay that you want to change maybe your belief system from what you grew up with. It's okay. Okay? It is. And people are not always going to like it. Not everybody's going to vibe with it. And that's okay, including the people who you might be closest to. All right. So I say this to you because it's so relevant when you're on this self-love journey to realize you will make people angry. You will have to distance from people and not even realize it. You do have to undo that false narrative that you've had in your head, right? Because these are the tools that were given to you. Like I said, be seen, not heard, speak only when spoken to, basic. Oh, hello. That's Clover. New one today. And that's relevant for you because you have to realize that unless you can find what fills you, I hate to use that word, but like unless you can find what the passion is for self, I'm not talking about when it comes to doing things and what you're supposed to do in your life. That's not what I'm saying. But like, what do you vibe with? Like, you guys know animals are my thing. They are my jam. They fill me. That makes me feel good. But they make me feel good because I'm good. And even when I wasn't good, they made me feel good, or at least tried to make me feel good. But at the end of the day, and I will tell you this from a person who's still on this like long life journey, I looked for so many people to try to fill that void, and it will not happen because it will become codependent. It will become problematic because then you'll have these expectations on people and situations, and that's not okay. And ultimately, no one's ever going to fill that void, and somebody's why is never going to be enough, and somebody's reasonings. And so that's why we have to focus here. Okay, so we're going to continue the conversation, but I promise you there's going to be a little bit different kind of meditation coming your way next week. Not bad, good, but it's going to be reflective and kind of help you process some of your stuff. Nothing big, but just enough, okay? So I love you guys, and please remember that self-love and self-care is not selfish, and you're going to spend only 100% of your life with you and nobody else. So that's why you want to love that person and find that passion and know that your passions are true to you, that you are true to you, that you are valid for self, that nobody else has to fill that for you and nobody else has to say, I approve you. Like nobody else has to do that. So I love you guys. Have an amazing weekend.